my dad was like, Scott, guess who I got a phone call from today? And I had no idea. I was like, I don't know, like, what is this about? This is weird. Never asked me this before. And he said the academy director at Fulham, but they've said that they want me to go and train. And I was like, right, okay, like wow, this is really weird. Obviously trained with them until the end of the season, and then went back in the summer. And I think that's when like the trial process really started. So it was at Brighton away. The coaches took me upstairs, and obviously we had a chat about the game, and they said, look, like, you know, this sort of time's coming. And then they offered me it, and it was just like, I can't even remember, like, I don't even remember how I felt, really. It was just, like, my dad was obviously next to me, and I think he was more buzzing than I was. Like, he was like, yeah, we need to tell everyone in the car. Like, he was ringing his brother and everyone, and I was just like, I don't even know, like, what to think, like, what's going on. And then that's it, done, like, you're officially, you know, a scholar, and it's emotional, like, it's like, obviously it's a big achievement, so yeah, it was good, like, really good. It just feels so professional, like, it just feels crazy. It's like, I've never really, like, the only thing I've signed before is my planner in school, like, and I'm now signing, like, a huge contract, and it's mad, really. I'm like, you know, when you said earlier, like, when did you think football was going to become serious? That was like another step up. It was like, right, okay, I'm going into, like, this is going to be my job now. When we came back after Christmas, I was made captain. It was good to be recognised as captain, but it was I didn't really change anything I did. I was just, you know, I just had the armband on. Maybe just not argue with the referee as much, and maybe not, you know, put as many feisty tackles in. At that stage, I wasn't really making, you know, any mistakes, really. I was just a consistent performer. I had, you know, you're doing really well, like, keep it going. You know, I watched your game the other day. Well done, you did really well. That probably, without knowing, obviously gave me like a confidence boost. I didn't know what to expect. As I said earlier, that I thought I'd get a third-year scholar. And it was just, you know, that uncertainty of, like, not knowing what was going to happen. Like, obviously you're nervous, like, you're like, oh my God, like, this is it, like, the 2 years, like, this is it now, like, there's a decision to be made here. What's going to happen? I'm either going to walk out of this room, and I've got to consider other you know, options, or I'm going to walk out this room, you know, buzzing, knowing that obviously I've been offered a contract. But I sort of semi-knew with the first thing they said. They said if we were to give out contracts on mentality, character, resilience, you know, all these things that you need as a person, as an individual, not just a footballer, but as a person, then you'd have one hands down. And I was like, right, okay, I know where this is going. I don't really necessarily want to hear the rest, because I know obviously what you're going to say. That news is like, it's heartbreaking. Like, you work so hard and then you find that out, and it's like you'd literally, everything you worked hard for is just being crushed. I went to the changing room and just told my dad, and he was fuming. Like, he wasn't even upset.
Is it hard to tell your dad?
Yeah. I tell you what, the hardest thing is, like, they put a lot of effort in, your parents, and it was like, I felt like I let him down. And obviously it's not like that at all. And it's just the situation, like, it gets on top of you, and you're like, oh. You know, they've put so much into it, and I've like not lived up to the expectation. I've not done everything I've worked hard for, and I've not achieved it, and it's honestly, it's so difficult. If I'd suddenly said, no, that's it, I don't want to play football anymore, it wouldn't be fair to myself, first and foremost, but it wouldn't be fair to, as I said earlier, like, the people that had put the time in to work with me. I didn't think about, you know, giving up or throwing the towel in, because I just wanted to, like, enjoy it again. Obviously, you go through that, and you just, it's tough, and you're just thinking, right, like, I need to work hard to get to a position where I'm enjoying football again. Like, I'm quite focused and positive, and I try and, like, look forward and look ahead, instead of, you know, dwelling on things. Like, obviously it's important to reflect, and I'll always reflect on things, but, you know, instead of God, I had a really, really bad game. It's, right, I had a bad game, but what can I do next week to improve? Or what did I do here that I shouldn't have done, and I should do this better next week? So it's always about improving yourself instead of beating yourself up and being so negative and pessimistic all the time.
Go on, commit. Go on then, go on then, go on then, go on then. Good. Well done. They weren't ready. Good lad, well done.
They had clubs in mind of where they wanted to send me and things like that, and where they felt would obviously be good and where I'd fit in. But I think there's definitely a balance, and it's definitely like, if anything, it's just nice to know that someone's asking you how you are generally and how you are finding it. As you say, a lot of it is football focused. You know, they're always talking about your next move, you know, what you're doing next week or where you're on trial, how did your trial go? It's never really like, how are you coping? So at the moment I work full time for a company called James G and Powell. We design, build and maintain high-end gardens, mostly in like southwest London. It was a part-time thing while I was doing my coaching badges. So obviously I had my level 2 through Fulham when I was doing the scholarship, and they invited me back after being released to do my UEFA B. There was an opportunity that come up at Basingstoke, being the head coach for the under-15 side at the time. So I took over last January. You know, I've gone through, you know, this sort of journey in football, and it'd be a shame for me to waste that by not, you know, sharing my knowledge, sharing my experiences with them.
Similar to last week, okay, we're going to have people set up on the outsides, and then we're just going to go through some technical drills, just focusing on your touch.
I play part-time for Basingstoke Town, so they were the first team that I properly committed to after Fulham. As I said, I'm always going to want to be a professional footballer, and I'm 100% convinced it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, like, I can say that I gave it a good shot. You know, it's my dream, so I've got to make it happen at some stage. So yeah, I'm always going to work hard, and I think it will come at some point. But as I say, it might not happen for, you know, a few years. But if that's what it takes, then I've got to be prepared to work hard for those 3 years until the opportunity comes, which I'm, you know, fully willing to do.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. I really appreciate it.
Of course.